Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Sim Shack. I am, of course, Sim UK, still freezing my little nuts off, but enjoying the fact that I've got access to NauticXP ship simulator now.
Qualified seaman. Deckhand.
Now, sorry about the little stutter there, now officially available on Steam. Well, it's coming soon. So this is developed and published by SWE Systems, and fundamentally, having spoken to the dev, this is a single person working with a bunch of specialists who drop in and drop out as and when needed or as and when available. So from that perspective, and let me just get this in there first of all, what they've managed to do, what they've been able to do is incredible. NauticXP is definitely going down the sim route with a hint of, I don't want to say arcadey gaminess about it, because it's not really arcadey gaminess at all. It's just not so hardcore sim that you need to study. Like in some of the flight sims, some of the aircraft are so study level that you literally do have to study them even just to get them started. So it's not that level of difficulty, but we are just a shade below that in terms of simulation. So I've already played this quite a bit, but the version I have been playing was not on Steam. The version I was playing was just an executable file that was sent to me directly, and I installed it and played. And some of the scenarios were very challenging indeed. Some of the scenarios I found a little bit confusing, but on the most part, it's very, very evident that they're trying to push for a realistic type sim, which is right up my street. Excuse me. Spam. So this is the first time I've looked at the Steam version. Now the Steam version is far more up to date in terms of development progress than anything I have played before. So having spent quite a few hours putting together my review previously, the developer then said to me, well, hold off a little bit. We're going to be doing some really big stuff and there's going to be lots of significant changes. It'll probably be better if you use that. So I may be starting again from the beginning, I don't know, but this is where we are. Long intro, but now you're up to speed, you know what's going on. Let's take a look at the settings first of all. Gameplay, ship damage and flooding, yes. Propeller wheel effect, yes. Sea current effect on ship, yes. Wind effect on ship, yes. Wind affects boats way more than people realise. Canal drift effect, hell yes. Radio channel has to match harbour frequency, hell yes. This is really good. I really like the radio elements of it, although arguably radio usage is maybe phasing out a little bit in the real world. I imagine for commercial shipping it's still very much going to be there, but for relaxed sailors like myself, it's more often you're going to be using your mobile phone ringing ahead, that kind of thing. But obviously if you're going offshore, if you're in the deep ocean, you're going to need radios. So really glad that we've got some proper radio implementation in the game so far. This is early access, so that's all good. I'm just wondering here. I thought maybe I could just switch it to maximum simulation. Anyway, realistic acceleration. I wonder if that means, you know, it's sometimes the bigger the ship, the longer it takes to get going, and the longer it takes to slow down. So I wonder if it means that. We'll stick it on anyway. It'd be nice if there was a little bit of an explanation with each of these, just to add a little bit of clarity. Echo sounder only. I will turn that on. So now we're on hard difficulty. If I turn that off, we're on custom. Okay. Limited time mission. MMEA data interface. Oh, sorry. NMEA data interface. Don't even know what that means. Max mission distance. For cargo missions. Once again, I think there needs to be some sort of context here. I mean, is it going to be an hour to 5 hours? Is it going to be a day to 5 days? 1 hour to 5 days? Just a little bit of something there would be nice. Random missions, I'm going to say yes as well. I really don't know what I'm doing. None of this was applicable in the previous version that I've played, so this is all new to me. So I shall click apply. I shall click apply. Well, that's good. Time sunk 0. Because I did sink 1 or 2 boats. Although I'm not sure it actually sank. I'm trying to remember now what actually happened. I think we just cut. Like the mission just cut and ended. I'm hoping in time we'll actually get the sinking effect. You know, the boat starts listing. Maybe you can get back to shore in time or to the port in time. That kind of thing. I'd love to see that. Right, so settings. That was gameplay. Let's look at player. Sim UK. Get rid of the Steam. Thank you very much. Show player online ranking. Yeah, why not? Changing player name here is not possible. Right you are. Moving on. Right. It hasn't actually picked up that I'm playing in full 4K, which is this. But I've got about 60 frames per second here. I'm going to put everything on absolutely maximum. And, show ship crew. That's also new. Ambient life. Harbour people, land traffic, air traffic, wildlife. I wonder if those pop-ups were available in that other thing. AI traffic. Perhaps he thinks that's just too obvious. You don't need an explanation for that. Let's hit apply and see what happens. So, okay, I'll drop down to 48 frames per second, but we're back up to 60 now. So, we'll see how well my PC can cope. But by no means do I have a powerful PC. It's very middle of the road kind of spec. So we'll see how it performs. And we'll adjust accordingly. Right, let's go quickly just back to the settings in gameplay and just hover over some of these. So they're not. There's no pop-up explanation over here. One thing I have noticed, this is just an OCD thing really. Some of the menus, I mean, like these tick boxes are not in alignment. Just little quirky things like that. Obviously, when I was studying at university, you would have been marked down for things like that. So it sticks in my head. I can't see it and not unsee it, if you know what I mean. There's a few things like that. You can see that we're overlapping here at the top because it's coming around on the menu. I mean, this is just cosmetic stuff, okay? But if I don't mention it, then the dev, you know, when you're developing something like this, and I can't believe how much he's done on his own, little things like that do not matter because you've got much bigger things to worry about. So I'm just mentioning it just to clarify that I've seen it and we know that it's there, basically. Right, video and audio, let's go back to that. Everything is now adjusted to full. Inputs. Now, we do have controllers set up opportunities. I'm trying to remember how I set up on the previous version. I think I was trying to use my Cytec side panel, but didn't recognise half the buttons. Pretty sure that's what that was. For this video, we'll just go without controller input. I'll do another video on that, I think. Alright, so let's go back. Can I load something? Save games, editor, okay. Let's go to play then. So there were some tutorials. Got the basics. Oh, there's a few more now. There was only, I think, maybe there were 3. It'll teach you how to operate the UHF radio, request a berth, enter the harbour area safely. Whether or not I can remember the keybinds. One of the problems that I fed back to the dev was it would be great if I could get the keybinds up on the screen whilst we were playing, because you had to come out of the tutorial to get the keybinds, and apparently now you can see them whilst you're in the game, so that should make my life a lot easier. Navigation, okay, yeah. In coastal waters, I remember doing that. We've got some missions here. That's tugboat. Ferry, I haven't done that one, that's new. Pilot mission, I haven't done that one, that'll be interesting. It looks like you're actually pulling up alongside a big tanker. Rescue patrol, I think... I can't remember if I did that one, maybe not. Cargo mission, okay, that'd be interesting as well. And then we got advanced... Oh, advanced tutorial. Now, there are no advanced tutorials here, but... Okay, that's interesting. So, within the tutorial, there are some missions, and there are some scenarios that are outside of the tutorial. Yeah, I think I did this one. Yeah, that rings a bell. $60 minutes to do it, yeah. Oh, this one, I really struggled with. This one is tough. The cruise ship leaving Stralsund Harbour. Now, apparently, you're not meant to do the whole thing by yourself. You're meant to call the pilots come and help you. So I didn't do that. I tried to do it all by myself. Back home, I almost did. Well, I did do it, but I failed by 30 seconds. At 4:48 this morning, the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre received an emergency call. Sailor last seen. Oh. Prepare for a long mission. Okay, and this is hard difficulty. 650 XP. Very gusty winds. Wow, 26 knots up to 34 knots. Wave height only 1 to 2 meters. That's not very much. I've sailed out in 1 to 2 meters in my 27-foot yacht. Admittedly, occasionally it did try and throw me off the back of the boat, but yeah, 1 to 2 meters is not super duper scary for a big boat. Alrighty, what should we do? Let's do a scenario. Let's do this one, shall we? Search and rescue north of Rügen. At 4:48 this morning, the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre received an emergency call. A sailor last seen northwest of Rügen yesterday evening at 8:30 in the morning has not arrived in Sassnitz as planned. According to the report, there is 1 person on board. The rescue cruiser Magic and her crew have been alerted. Prepare for a long mission. Let's go. Start. Click. Start. Start. Click. 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 Start. That was one of the bugs that still exists by all accounts. Oh wow, this is totally changed. Whoa, steady on.
4:48 this morning, the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre received an emergency call. A sailor, last seen northwest of Rügen yesterday evening at 8:30, has not arrived in Sassnitz as planned. According to the report, there is 1 person on board. The rescue cruiser Magic and her crew have been alerted.
Right, we'll see how we get on here because I immediately feel intimidated.
It is 4:58. 10 minutes after the alarm. We are ready to leave Glow Harbour. Our mission is to search the last reported position and then proceed southeast towards Sassnitz.
Right, okay. Look at that exit point there. That is
Head out of Glow Harbour, navigate to the last known position northwest of Rugen, begin the search pattern, and advance step by step towards Sassnitz. Stay alert for flares, debris, or any sign of the missing sailor.
Roger that. Okay, I wasn't really listening to that mission, so hopefully I can bring it up again at some point. But look how tight that initial exit point is there. First time driving this boat, that is a scary tight corner to have to try and navigate. But okay, there is a startup procedure, and at the moment, oh look, there's a crew member. At the moment, all movement is sort of free flow like this. And I have said to the dev, I'd be interested in your thoughts on this. I would much rather be walking around the boat like a character than floating around it like this. That's not to say that I wouldn't want a floating camera like this. Both would be ideal. But certainly, just having floaty camera all the time is not that immersive, in my humble opinion. Especially as soon as I have to use the arrow keys and not WASD in order to make it work. Anyway, this is the control room. I'll try and turn some lights on. Interior lights. Left click to toggle. Right click night mode, wheel for brightness. So I'm clicking on it, but it's not working, and it didn't work previously. So it might be because we haven't got the battery on. Let's turn the battery on, the AC gen, start the engine, and now we have interior lights. See what I'm saying about realism? It's very much a case of, you know, things have to be done in the correct order before they'll work. It has been a while since I played this, a couple of weeks, so I am feeling a little bit under pressure. Let's get the radar on, the GPS. So I think I can get rid of that screen somehow, so that it doesn't take up the screen here. I'd love to be able to kick this out to one of my external monitors. Let's run it down. Nothing. Same with the sonar. Depth bow 100 meters ahead, 0 meters. Yeah, okay. There's all this in the way. Radio on. I don't know if I have to radio to leave. But do I have a controller plugged in? I don't think I have a controller plugged in. So why would this let me... Ah, I know. No, wait. Not doing silly speeds. That shouldn't be a problem. Put external lights on. Positioning lights on. So this is a lot easier than it was before. Left click to throw lines, right click to pull in all lines, and then use the mouse to pull tight. Okay, that's cool. So I've let the lines go. And you see now we're under the influence of the tide, with the waves and the wind. Should be able to put a bit of, there we go. Bit of bow thruster. Stern thruster. Just move us out a little bit, away from the edge. We can zoom in on this now, that's also good. Whoops! Oh, okay, a slight bug there. If I'm zooming in on the map... Oh, it's... Okay, if I'm zooming in on the map, it gets to a certain point, and then my binoculars come out. Ah, excuse my prattling. I'm feeling a bit nervous. I've got to be careful of that over there. Good alignment tool. What I'm going to do is just allow the back end to swing out a little bit. Doesn't appear to be anything in my way, so we should be safe. Be so much nicer if I had controls set up, I've got to be honest. So already I can honestly say that this has transformed astronomically, just the ability to click on these things and for that to be working. Whether or not I was doing it incorrectly before, I don't know. There is a learning curve to this game, certainly. Like not being able to use the bow thrusters and the stern thrusters if you're going too fast, but also for them to not work whilst you're still attached to the dock, I would argue that's not realistic. I have myself witnessed numerous large ships using bow thrusters and such. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Yeah, using the bow thrusters and such just to hold them in position at certain times of day and whatnot. Right, let's so that should be the throttle. Right, okay, so the throttle is showing me 5 of 5. Quite know what that means. We'll just use the rudder to get ourselves out of here. Just make sure there's no other AI. Oh look, we're right up against this now. I took too long. Faffed about too long. You can see what I mean. I'm getting collision warnings. You can see what I mean about how tight that exit is and how difficult it's going to be. Colliding against this. So okay, we're free of that. Rudder. Oh my god, I think I'm going to collide with the front. Oh, I'm so scared right now. Just hit the front of the boat. So one thing you might notice is that there's no banging and clanging. Like we've just hit a few things there, but there's no audio. Things like that definitely still are a work in progress. Just scratching the front of the boat. So this is certainly no way to be exiting this harbour. First time I've ever driven this boat, so I mean the pressure is definitely on me. Such a tight manoeuvre. Completely unnecessary for a total beginner newbie noob like me. Come on, get out of this gap. Well, the bow thruster's all the way over to port, but we're moving very slowly in the direction I wish to. Bow thrusters, in my humbler opinion, are a bit more effective than this. This feels a little bit lackluster. Right, I think we've got enough clearance now. Let's get our asses out of here. We're just very gently rubbing up against it, really, but it is a collision, technically. Is it really catching? I think it might be. But technically, we're not touching. But what's happened is that that fender has got caught, and rather than moving out of the way like a fender would, it's acted as if it was stuck to the boat. And it was a hard piece of the boat. So that's actually not supposed to happen. Let's bring the fenders in. Get ourselves back over here again. So that's actually a bug. That's a how would I describe it? It's a logic bug. A fender should not be that strong. Fender should move out of the way if that's the only thing that's touching the harbour side. It should just be pushed out of the way or squashed because it's just air. There's nothing special about it. Again, we're getting lots of collision warnings, but I don't think we're actually touching. I'm looking at it, I'm not seeing any touching there. So maybe it's just a bit oversensitive throughout. Say we were going to have troubles getting out of here, and I wasn't wrong. So we're safe from there now, so we can just still moving forward, which is not a problem. Use my very, very slow bow and stern thrusters to get me off of here. They're so ineffective. They really need to be more powerful than this. They're just not working. Unless there's a thruster somewhere. Additional power element available. I'm earning my XP points here, I tell you. We're actually quite away from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up. turn into that point. It's going to be making this turn at all. Twisting on our axes. It seems to be more effective when they're against each other, but when you've got both pulling you to one side, it doesn't seem to work all that well. Right, I think we can actually get out. Also, another complaint I have is that the rudder deflection can't stay. It always wants to return to neutral. That should be an optional thing, I think, because I don't particularly like it. Right, anyway, we are finally heading out to sea. AI ships trying to get squashed. I love the fact that there was an AI ship that came out as we were getting ready to leave. That's fantastic. Oh, it's such a narrow little entrance. It's kicking my butt already. Right, so is there any way to reread the mission instructions? I think I just need to head that way. Okay, we are good. Let's get it going. What am I rubbing against? Because I just checked.
The ship is badly damaged. Sail to the next shipyard to get things repaired.
So now we're flooding. Why are we flooding? Get the bilge pumps on. Shut the hatches. Depth below keel 0. Right, now how am I supposed to know that? I suppose these little blue markers here, but I can't zoom in enough. Let's see. It's not enough to zoom in. So I guess it was supposed to go like that. This is what I mean about sim. I mean, that is such a tight... Oh, over there. That is such a tight exit. Admittedly, I should have looked at that before leaving. No way am I blaming the game, but don't think I need to be able to zoom in much closer than this, because there's the exit point there, and there is no alternative route to get out. So no matter what I do, I'm always going to come straight onto this shallow. So is that a bug? Very difficult to know. You know what? Because we're a floating thingy. Let's go and have a look and see what the hell's going on. See, we're not bottoming out at all. Oh, hang on, what's this freaking thing here? Is that like a rock? Right. There's a rock there, or something, right at the entrance, or a submarine, I don't know what the hell that is. That's what we're rubbing up against. So I'm in full reverse. We appear to be wedged on there. Now, if you look at the map, I can see this here, which is an indication of an obstacle under the water that you've got to be careful of. I see nothing here to warn me against that being a thing. So I'm dismayed, I'm confused, and a little bit annoyed by that, because there shouldn't be anything there. I mean, it's the entrance to the harbour for a start. The idea that something would be there is pretty ludicrous. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to smash it. Put the bow thrusters on. I think we're moving again. Okay, so now I need to take the throttle off. We're just going. All of a sudden, we're going like full tilt in reverse, which is not what I want at all. Just finally slipped off that rock that we were hitting. It's ridiculous, isn't it? We've not even got out of the harbour yet. Nearly died 3 times. We're moving forwards. We now know that... How am I hitting this time? I'm not hitting anything, but it thinks I'm hitting something. Or it thinks I'm hitting the floor. Slightly frustrating. Let's have a second go at that, shall we? So there you go, time sunk 1. Right, let's play scenario.
At 4:48
just took some
morning,
damage
the
there.
Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre received an emergency call. A sailor, last seen northwest of Rugen yesterday evening at 8:30, has not arrived in Sassnitz as planned. According to the report, there is one person on board. The rescue cruiser Magic and her crew have been alerted. It is 4:58, 10 minutes after the alarm. We are ready to leave Glow Harbour. Our mission is to search the last reported position and then proceed southeast towards Sassnitz.
Right, let's see how well I can make this look.
Head out of Glow Harbour, navigate to the last known position northwest of Rugen, begin the search pattern, and advance step by step towards Sassnitz. Stay alert for flares, debris, or any sign of the missing sailor.
about this guy because I know he probably wants to come out. Possibly won't react to me when I'm moving. Very concerned about this corner as well. There's an awful lot to think about. Awful lot to think about. Slow, steady progress is the way forward. Draft is 2.89 meters. Zero knots. Just try and turn in this space because we're getting awfully close to this. Let's get rid of the fenders this time. Clipping, causing us problems. Nothing good. Perilously close to that, but safely perilously close, if that makes sense. Both thrusters to port. Tiny bit of throttle. Try and edge our way out of this tiny little gap. Space that side. Gonna hit now. Somehow squeezed our way through without hitting. I wasn't paying attention enough and didn't see the collision alert. There it is, collision. Okay. Really just hit it. But again, I don't feel like these thrusters have anywhere near enough purchase. We should be, you know, flying across at a couple of knots at least by now. Should be clear of that. One of the things about boats is you might think, like you would in a car, to avoid hitting anything I'll go nice and slow, but if you go too slow you've got no steering, so you have to maintain some sort of movement in order to have enough water flow over the rudder to actually turn the boat. So there's a million and one gotchas when you're sailing. And even when you think you know it all, it still catch you out. It's still a little curveball that can be thrown right into your face when you least expect it. Right, so immediately in front out there's some sort of rock thing, which I think is ridiculous. But we'll try and slip out down the side this time. See what happens. So there's that dude, he wants to follow us out. He's travelling much faster than we are, that could be a problem. Slow down, just getting perilously close again. This edge. I think we're rubbing up against the harbour wall here at the moment. Gone far too wide. Nervous about hitting this immediate black rock thing that's out here, but also equally running aground on the side here. It's so tight. Everything in it is so tight. Plus this guy wants to sink us. Everything wants to sink us right now. Let's have a look at this black thing, shall we? Seems like we've gotten past it, whatever it was. Right. So we've come out, we've gone hard left. We got there. Channel marker. I guess we'll go around that. Knots right now, which is quite the speed. Right, so according to this, we want to be heading in thus direction. So you'll notice that none of my waypoint markers are showing up here, so I'm going to have to adjust them accordingly. And equally on the map, our target location is not being shown up, so I don't really know how far out it needs to travel in this direction. But, I think we're safely in the channel. Something out there. Sort of tanker or something. Okay. Well, to say that was stressful would be a bit of an understatement. Now, what was the button for radio? That would be flag. Go. Don't know what country we're in. Let's assume it's Germany. So I brings up the information about the ship. As you can see, the weather, although it sounded quite nasty, is, you know, barely touching us at all. Got a bit of low ground here to watch for. I think that's what these blue circles with the cross on it means. I spoke to a friend of mine, Ron, who was in the Navy. He's never seen them before either. He's like, well, I don't know what that means. This is obviously a cardinal, and the the thing to avoid here is, according to this, north of this, so over here somewhere. But we don't have to worry about that. We're all the way over here. We're more concerned with a bit of shallow ground, I guess that's what that is. Right. Little bit of hull damage. Not enough to worry about, but certainly that was better than our first attempt. But certainly not good. It's also quite light out there. What time is it meant to be? Well, there's a time somewhere. Can't see it right now. Bit of swell. Nice bit of swell. Honest, I think a little bit of more work needs to be done on the buoyancy system there. It's not quite sitting in the water how it should be. It's got that physics issue that we see on so many sims. There's a boat out there right at us, where it starts bouncing like that. Obviously that's not realistic. Although to be fair, when I was in sort of big water, that's pretty much what was happening to me. I was getting chucked up and down quite a bit like that. Anyway, back to it. Where's our scenario marker gone? Right, so I'm supposed to be looking for debris or signs of life or anything like that. I'm thinking over there there's a dude. Would that be him? Oh yeah, there's a guy in the water. There is a guy in the water. Oh crap. Oh, this is going to be tricky. In these conditions, what the hell am I meant to close enough to him without squashing him? It looks like that boat is now behind us. There's the guy, I can see the guy. Oh, he's on the boat. He's hovering above the boat. Right. Okay, well let's do a complete Yui then. Okay, 40% engines. Hard to port and try and do a Yui. Come around behind them. There's going to be a thing I'm meant to do here that I'm not going to know how to do, I bet you. So it's not easy in these conditions. Scary conditions. Really nasty. Come on, let's go. Bit more throttle. Looking for a levitating sailor port side. I think I see him. Don't want to hit that boy because that'll probably do a lot of damage. He's off on the rudder. Obviously we are a much bigger ship than they are. We have to be really careful here. What I'm going to do with this guy when I get near him. I've had no training for chucking out tow ropes or anything like that. I may have a bit of trouble here. Spotlights are on for outside. Look outside, shall we? Scenario wants me to go all the way over there, but I've found the dude, haven't I? Or haven't I found the dude? Maybe that isn't the dude. Just the way that he's levitating outside of his boat makes me feel like he is the dude. Right, I don't think that is him. Change of plan. I think we need to be going that way. We'll leave our man behind. Hopefully not drown him in the process. Later, buddy. Happy hoverings. I guess what we're doing is we're heading along the coastline. I'm looking for debris or any signs of ship. thought it was strange that we found him quite so quickly. When he said, expect a long mission. It's like, well, isn't that one? That clearly isn't. Excuse me. Certainly, audio is an area that needs considerable work. I think everyone will have to agree with that. But it looks bloody nice at the moment, and I like the challenge, even if some of the challenges are a bit questionable. Ugh. God, I did not get enough sleep last night. Chugging along, taking our time. I saw something then, but maybe it was just a breaking wave. Ugh. I need a coffee. I really do. I'm cold. I'm tired. I need a coffee. Nearly there. Right, waypoint reached. Where now, brown cow? Not reached. The other problem with sailing is very relaxing. I'm tired already. I could easily nod off. See out there. Why is the throttle not on? I don't go get coffee, I'm just going to fall asleep, guys. Oh, I'm so tired. The radar started pinging up stuff. Something off to our right. It's just a very brief ping. The scenario marker looks a lot closer than I think it actually is. No good. I might need munchies as well, just to stay awake long enough. Let's take this opportunity to pause. And I am back with the magic of editing, video recording capabilities. I am now with a cup of tea. Just to give you some idea, some indication of how tired I am. I made this tea about 5 hours ago. Got distracted by something. It got cold. I put it in the microwave and then walked around the house trying to find my cup for the next couple of hours. I can't remember whether I just put it in the microwave. Anyway, that's not important right now. Finding this lost sailor, that's what's important right now. So we're at full tilt, heading straight towards the scenario marker. We've got a few different views. This one. Whoa, what just came up on the radar then? Two big red blobs. I hope that isn't an underwatery type thing. Anyway, F2 is in the cockpit view. You can sort of change your zoom quite a bit. F3 is on the bow. Very shiny bow it is too. Best place to be, well, not necessarily the best place, but a good place to be eyeballing for things. F4, I think, I don't know. Oh, F4 is the captain's seat. F5 turns off that icon, F6 must turn off that one, F7 turns off that, F8 turns off the navigation at the top, F9 turns off the throttle control, F10 turns that off, and F11 makes the screen go small. But you can't turn off the true wind down the bottom left there. That appears to be constant. Turn this all back on because I'm a beginner. So it must be some distance away, I tell you. Ah, that's the marker there. Oh my gosh, yes, we are going quite some distance. Let me get rid of these markers. So, I suppose we ought to put the old autopilots on. Hopefully that'll take us straight to our destination. I don't know whether it will stop when we get there. But if these blue circles with a cross in them do mean shallow water, at the moment the draft is 3.4, 2.9 at the lowest. Because the markers aren't on here, it's difficult to tell, but we do appear to be going through the middle, so I think the autopilot is following our track. I saw something down here then, did you see that? Like wildlife of some sort, like a whale or a dolphin or something. pressing F1, goes up and down like this. I never noticed that before. Now it's doing it differently. Oh, there's a boy right in front of me. Ah! Is that my marker by any chance? Yeah, I think we hit that pretty hard. I did not see that at all. It's not on the flipping map. I didn't see it in the water. Perhaps it's just where I've put a marker down, I'm not sure. It's possible. I'm still learning this game. There's a lot that isn't necessarily explained in the game, but might be explained elsewhere. There's a wiki page for explaining a lot of the systems and mechanics and stuff in the game. I don't know what I've pressed, but I now can't float around freely. What button is that one? I seem to have anchored myself to everything. Autopilot's still on. I'm looking. That's the light panel. None of those seem to apply to us, which is oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know why I pressed then, but I wanted to turn around completely. Right, so we're approaching the point anyway, the marker point. Let's see what the game will have us do next. Still no sign of anything particularly...
Rescue Cruiser, Magic. This is Maritime Rescue Center. We have an updated search area, north of your current position. We update your data link. Maritime Rescue Center, out.
Alrighty, so north of our current position. Goodness me, they weren't kidding. Don't know what that is, so I'm going to avoid it. Oh look, there's an oil rig out there. That's pretty... Right, map off, autopilot on, full throttle. Just sort of switch off and away there. Except for that boat over there. Which does look like it's coming straight at us. These must be my markers, I think. Because we seem to head straight for them every time I put down marker points. They don't cause us any collisions.
We shortly arrive at the search area. Start to plan a search pattern covering 3 nautical miles around position 54.885 north, 13.368 east.
.8, 13.3.
Start keeping a strict lookout for the sailboat with your binoculars.
Basically there somewhere. But I think the scenario's put itself a little bit out of kilter because we're not about to arrive here. We've a long way to go before we get there, so not worry about that too much. Radio menu. There is no radio option at the moment. So it's hashtag. It was over there somewhere. Panel. I cannot remember which button allows me to maneuver around freely. Settings. Oh, video audio. But no buttons. Hang on. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, I just accidentally sent this back to the main menu. Massive request to the developer. Please put a confirmation on that because I did not mean to click that button. Oh, ball aches. Damn it. It's infuriating. That must be a bug. Right, okay, well that's... oh. That's disappointing, infuriating, and annoying all at the same time. I'm going to hook up some controllers and try it again with controllers, and we'll see if the whole controller input thing has improved. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye for now.